Alright, today I thought I would go and review one of my art journals. This is one that I've started probably about 10 years ago. Nothing is in chronological order. And I started it with the intention for it to be a smash book. And I thought, okay, as I see different materials, say little things I want to buy, magazines, different stuff, or things that stood out to me, I plan to kind of put them in there. I like the feel of the different textures. So you can see how, like, at one point I was super into the black and white theme, and so I had put together some stuff that, okay, I can have in my room in black and white. And I did actually use some of these materials in one of my apartment rooms, but it kind of ranged. I put like fibers in here from things, and then it kind of progressed into an art journal. So again, I just thought that for a review, it'd be nice to kind of see little different things. I think this was a magazine clip, and um, I just liked it. So it ended up in here, and then some other things, pretty personal. So we won't go and read all the writing and everything, but um, mostly my thing is paper crafting, um, rub-ons. So anything of my scrapbook materials that I want to use in here, I do, and it gives me an opportunity to use little reflective things in my journal. So I think this was a bus pass. I think I was going through a period where I was just like thankful for some different things that were going on despite some struggles, and I was sitting in here. So of course the range of emotions will be in there, but I liked that, just putting random stuff in here. So let's see. I'd gone to a Jill Scott concert in Windstar. So I had some stuff, being excited about going to do that. Um, this was my daughter at that time, and this was one of her notes from her teacher that I just put in there. Let's see. Some of my graduation photos. I had actually been passed my cap and gown in grad school. It had been like a tradition passed from like two other people. Somebody knew I was in need of one, and they asked me to pass it on, which I did. So hopefully that gown is in there going around. And I really do have random things in here. Sometimes I draw in it. Sometimes I use pieces from coloring things. This is one of my certification tests that I passed, and I put those results in there. Definitely moments where I've been impressed, or moments that I may have heard someone say something and quoted it. So this one was, I think I had seen Nate Berkus on a show, and this is something that he said stood out to me. Turn up the volume. It's every time you answer the phone and a friend needs you. It's every time you can create something beautiful and people get joy out of it. It's every time you make coffee for someone in the morning because they really want it. It's about the everyday. And that's kind of something I found very relatable. I think I try to live my life in that way too, that, that you touch people in the little ways. So I have stickers here, scrapbook paper, and all sorts of stuff. And so you can see just some random notes here about Living Elm. And then as we kind of progress, you can kind of see how more inspiration comes. This is a picture of when I was pregnant with my son. And again, I don't do these in chronological order, so they're not necessarily in that order. This was a time when my daughter was spending the weekend with her dad, and she had mailed a card to me that I still have. Random things. So again, like, some of it's really personal, but I still go in it to this day. It's almost full. And I have different washi tapes that I've used for different things. Sometimes I write in different colors, but I add to it pretty irregularly. And at this point, it's almost time to go into a new book. So that's another reason I thought it would be a good time to go through it. Has some stamping elements, some of the 3D liquid paints. I like working with different materials, and I like doing things in an inexpensive way as well too. So I think that's one of been the funnest things lately, is being able to play with some different backgrounds. This one that I built up here, I put gesso on the paper and then layered it up with Distress inks, and then I had a stencil that I used an acrylic paint over it. And then I have some stamping sentiments here, so I thought that came out really cool. A similar thing here. You see that I embossed this stamping piece right there. So to me, this is a really fun way to play with different materials. When I get them, I usually put them in this book. And I think I probably will start using different bigger books that don't have the lines on them, and also have a different weight of the paper, so that when I try to get it ready for different materials, it will help me manipulate the paper a little bit, and you don't have to worry about the paper being too wet and materials bleeding through and stuff like that. So, and so just randomness here. Some things unfinished, and that's okay. I do a lot of projects like that. Sometimes I've even included things like plant pieces and stuff that I found when I walk. This is a background that I had a lot of fun with. Another stamping, and I think I dripped some water on it, so you get another distress feel on it too. And I still review these journals from time to time, and it's interesting to see common themes that happen throughout time, or even to look back at it and see, you know, the resourcefulness that I had to come through a different moment. This was a set of embellishment pieces that I got that was around the time of the pandemic. And so all of it, you see homebody sometimes doing nothing is doing something. Let's stay home. And I thought all those pieces went really well. Therapist that I follow on Instagram, repeat after me. I'm learning to be patient with myself. My feelings and my thoughts have been rushed, and I'm learning to slow down. Perhaps for others, it makes sense to hurry me along, but I won't hurry anymore. I'm taking my time grieving, processing, exploring my thoughts, healing, and developing myself. I am not a rushed project. Nature Twilight. Very fitting, something that I refer back to, so that's in there. So yeah, I hope to share other things going in the future. Not just the journals, but also have a look at some of the scrapbooking things that I do. Some coloring. This one was just a fun thing where I actually combined foils and paper towels and put different mediums on top of it. So this definitely was a mixed media project here. Had some fortune cookie pieces. So really wasn't much about the journal, just about the background on this particular one. But I had fun on that one. And some collaging here with some different embellishment pieces again. And here I did better with the layering. So hopefully more for you to visit over time and see. And thanks for viewing.